everyone, my name is Emery and today I will show you my storytelling experience to you. And the first part is how I feel about the storytelling. I feel this is an interesting thing to me and they can have a good contact with the children and they can outgoing with after I was here. And the second part is my suggestion about how to be a good storyteller. The first is create the good PowerPoint and prepare it well. I think this can let your student know what is you want to say. And the second is go for using your teaching material. It can help you to do your sound active and your listen. And the third is presentation stories over time. It can avoid you to know the presentation and avoid you to nervous and you can say anything. And use your body language to explain something in a story. When your students don't understand, you should using your body language to explain it. And third is how I set my storybook. I have two sides to experiencing it, and one of is good to do something, and the other side is not to do something. I think you should select book which have a good picture, because a good picture can attract the children, and you can select book with a funny concept. The third is second book which is easy to read. It's a story to content your story and the children can understand. And don't select book which from too small and your student can see what you want to say and don't select content to children. It's because they can understand you, they will don't concentrate it. And don't select some books that have only words. I think it is verbal and they can concentrate. Okay, thanks for your listening.
Thank you. The next.
Hello everyone. Today I'm going to introduce my experience of telling story in Happy Elementary School.
那个票要开，那个没有开，旁边那个，对，你要把它。
Okay. And this is my agenda. You can just take a look. Okay, next one. How I feel about the storytelling. At the beginning, I was so nervous because this is my first time to tell the story, and when I was a children, I always imagined for the thousandth time to tell story to others, but when it becomes real, it becomes a challenge for me because I need to use the target language instead of our native language to talk in English, to tell a story. Sorry for the mistake. And I'm scared. Why? Because I have to tell the story in front of so many students, even they are just a kid, just a child. And I'm also a doubt at my ability because I don't know if I can tell a good story to the children or if I can really teach them something. So I feel scared. But I'm also excited. Excited about what? I'm excited. I can't wait to see the children's response reaction while I'm telling the story. Yes, and in this experiment, I learned how to interact with different kind of students. There are some students they are naughty, and some students they are shy. Some students they are motivated, and that's interesting. And I think it's my pleasure to have this chance to earn this precious experience. Okay, this is my backup. If I still have time, I will talk about this. Naughty, shy, motivated. How I select the storybook? Of course, simple words, but the words must be suitable for their level because they still need to learn something, right? So, when the students are learning a new words, they may have fear, and at the moment, the teacher played an important role because the teacher need to create and a relaxed atmosphere to deduct students to suggest the students' psychological barriers, right? So the teacher need to encourage the student to tell them it is so easy. You can do it. You can do it. Okay. And the book must be related to the student's interest. For example, like animals, colors, numbers, or clothes, or transportation, and so on. And the children may think, it's interesting. Maybe I should listen carefully to this storytelling. And other students, they may think, interesting. I will give more response to you. Okay, and I may say, thank you. Okay. So there are some interesting facts that may in the student's mind. Okay, and the next one, the book can contain the vivid picture. So, for example, I choose a colorful picture with a peacock. Interesting. And about tips for successful storytelling, gesture is important. For example, when you are imitating a ghost, you just say meh, meh, and nobody knows what you are talking about. Of course, maybe the students may say, what is she doing? Is she crazy? What is she talking like that? So they may don't understand what is the meaning. But if you have the gesture with the song, then you can let your students to receive your message right away. For example, meh, meh. And the student may say, look, it looks like a ghost. She's imitated a ghost. So the gesture is important too. And next is intonation is important. Why? Because we usually say, what's your name? Where do you work? Why are you happy? But if we say it if we have the intonation, then we may say, what's your name? Where do you work? And why are you happy? And the children may think, I think this intonation is just like a power which can brighten the students' heart because they won't feel sleepy. They just feel you use a different way to talk, and you talk gently, and you talk interestingly. So intonation is important. About the pronunciation. I missed one part because we usually have this word and world. attention about these words because our pronunciation is important. So next time we need to pay attention on this word is world and this word is world. World. That's L. Must be pronounced correctly. Okay? And about this picture, ice cream and ice cream. Interesting because the cream just spelled like pronounced like the same. And so at the time, pronunciation and the tempo is important. For example, these words we may say ice cream, ice cream, and the other word may say ice cream, ice cream, like this. Okay, so next page. Interaction. Interaction is important because if we ask the student some questions, then we may get some feedback from the students, right? And we can know what is the students already know and what did students learn in this class. So the interaction is the communication between us. So it is important. Okay. And the eye contact is important. Okay. As the saying goes, the eyes which are the windows of your soul. The eyes which are the windows of your soul. So, please use your beautiful eyes to have an eye contact with the student. Yes, and it is important because the eye contact can make you look authoritative, can make you look believable, and can make you look confident. And your students can trust you more. Okay, will trust you more. Okay. Yes. And what can I learn? First, of course, practice makes perfect. And second, discuss with your group member because they may give some suggestions to you and you can learn from it. Maybe there's some place that you need to improve, you need to change, and then you can become better, to become a better self. Okay. And the third one, to be enthusiastic about what you are doing. Okay, that's what we all need to learn because, for example, that first one, I am an enthusiast like this, but the face I don't know how to imitate. You can just take a look at the picture. And the second one, I like what I am doing. And the third one, woohoo, I love what I'm doing. Yes, so let's keep on learning and let's keep on improving ourselves. And thank you for listening.
Next.
And don't be afraid. Your English is the best in this classroom. I think confidence actually important because if you don't have confidence, and the students must know through your eyes. And if you are not confident enough, how come the students have to listen to you? And the third, well prepared. And if you practice enough, and it means you prepare enough. And prepare is not just prepare the story you are talking about. It must, if your story is under time, and you must have something to do, just like play the game or ask students some questions about the story, and so on. And the third is my feeling about the storytelling. When I heard we have to tell the story in Healthy Elementary School, the first thing comes to my mind is hard. I think it is hard is not because I think my English ability is not well enough. It's just simply because I have to get up very early morning. And I think most of you have this feeling. And second, I feel nervous. And I feel nervous it's not just because I am afraid of standing on the stage. It's because I don't like kids. Yeah, I don't like kids. It's a long story. Maybe we can talk in the future. I don't like kids. It's because I think they're annoying, and I'm afraid of if there is a naughty student. I'm afraid I will yell at him or her. But I just can't do that. And I think you know I'm not always smiling, right? But during a story time, I must always smile, and I think it is too hard for me. But after telling the story, I feel satisfied. I feel satisfied because the last time we went to Healthy Elementary School to tell the story, the teacher asked the students to come to the stage and say thank you for us. And a girl even gave me a big hug. I think maybe she is very enjoying our story. And at that moment, I started to think that child is not so dangerous, maybe. And so I feel satisfied during this storytelling. And I very appreciate teacher give us this experience because I think it is a big challenge for us. And so this is my presentation. Thanks for your listening.
Next.
Hello everyone, I'm Lydia. Today I will tell you about my healthy storytelling experience. This is my agenda. First is how I feel about the storytelling. Second is how to select the storybook. Third is tips for successful storytelling. In the beginning, I felt nervous because I never tell a story in English. It is difficult for me to speak English on the stage. In the classroom, I felt frustrated because the children's enthusiasm was not high for learning. But later, they participated in the activity positively, so I felt happy in the end. How to select the storybook? First is big book. The storybook should be so big that children see clearly. Second is close from the edge of the students, so that children will not find learning too difficult or simple. Third is interesting book. The storybook should be interesting. If not, children will feel very boring and not listen to you said. tips for successful storytelling. First is choose proper book. It's the first step to tell a story. You need to choose a big book with colorful illustrations so that children can see the book. Second is intonation. Heavy intonation can catch students' attention and help them to listen to the story. Third is body language. Using body language is important. It can help them to understand the story easily. And last one is materials. Using materials can help them to learn more easily and interested. This is my presentation. Thank you for listening.
Next.
Hello, my name is Lucky, and today I will tell my storytelling experience from Bertie Elementary School. And this is my agenda. How I feel when tell a story and how do I select a book and tips for successful storytelling. And when I know I need to go to elementary school to tell a story, I feel very nervous and also excited because it's my first time to tell a story to an elementary school student. And I think everyone will feel tired because we need to wake up early and the students sometimes will be noisy and we need to let them be quiet and concentrate on the test. And at the end of the story, I feel very happy because the student is all cute and have more reaction to us. And how I select the storybook, because we teach the first age students, and I think we don't need to choose a book that contain more difficult vocabulary or words, and we need to choose a book that have more pictures to let the student to like it. And also we need to choose a topic that student interested in, or if we choose a topic that not interested in, they will not concentrate on the class and they will feel overly boring and they will not have more reaction to us. And these are pictures of the storytelling. And the tips for successful storytelling is, I think we need to be more confident and well prepared. And if you will be nervous, you can practice by yourself at home. And if you feel nervous on the stage, you can use some body language and to make you not be nervous. And thank you for your listening.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I am Marilee, and today I want to talk about my experience of Bertie storytelling. This is my agenda, and the first is the value of the storytelling, and second is how to select a storybook, and third is the tip for successful storytelling. And this is my first time to telling stories, so before I go to the Bertie, I felt a little nervous, but I am excited about, and I look forward to seeing the children. And the children's reaction is very interesting. And also, after the course, I saw the children smile, and I have a sense of accomplishment. And how to select the storybook. You need to eliminate the children's age. For example, my class is 104, so they are suitable for 4 to 7 years old books. So we will choose more colorful books to them. And the story you must have a learning value, and also you need to interesting as possible. Yeah. And the tips for successful storytelling. Don't be shy, and you need to interact with the children very lively. And also remember, you need to eye contact with the children. It is very important. This is my presentation. Thank you for your listening.
Next.
Good morning, everyone. Today I'm here to introduce you my storytelling in healthy experience. This is my agenda. I divide it into 3 parts. Firstly, I will talk about our storybook, and the next is experience. Finally, I will talk about the suggestions. Storybook. Actually, we didn't prepare very well at the first time. So we practice at the second time. This book is titled Troublesome Tools. I think this book is big enough and colorful for children to read. Experience. In 103, children are very pay attention in class. And some of the children can know difficult words. It's very sharp. And their smile can melt everything. They are so cute, as you can see this picture. Use body language. You can use exaggerate body language, just like this one, or more. I still learn to be more active on the stage. And each word speak clearly and slowly. And you can choose different students to answer the question because they really love to answer the question. That's all of my presentation. Thank you for your listening.
Next.
I'm Selena. This is my agenda. And my healthy storytelling experience is very unexpected and terrible because actually before I go to healthy storytelling, I feel a little excited because I never go to elementary school and to teach children. But when I was stage, I was very nervous because a lot of eyes look at me. I think I'm really a teacher at that time. So very terrible. And I think being a good teacher is really hard because you can't predict how will the student do next. And I think when I ask question and I need to choose some children to answer my question, it's very hard because when I ask question, they raise hand, so I choose them. But I see some children always raise their hand, but some children always keep quiet and don't want to join us. And so I use draw to pick some part. But when I use draw, some students still raise their hand. But because I use draw, so I can't choose them. So their face becomes sad. So I'm a little confused about that. And how to be a good storyteller. I think use body language is very important. Not all the children will know what you're talking about. So some children will think this is very boring because they don't know what to do. So when you use body language, children can know what they have to do. So they will want to join you. And when you tell a story with high and low intonation, children will be more concentrated on you. And I think you have joy in it because when you tell the story in an exciting way, children will think, "Ooh, maybe this case will be very interesting." So they will want to respond to you and want to listen to you, and also will want to interact with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Hello everyone, my name is Helen. Today I have a short talk with you.
看一下我看。
And this is my agenda, healthy storytelling experience and how to be a good storyteller. Healthy storytelling experience. I think everything will be prepared, must be prepared in advance. And moreover, through telling experience, the telling experience can help me improve my pronunciation and the speaking skill, such as I'm very aware of my right pronunciation I use when you teach. And this is my teaching problem I found. The difference of level in a class and in attention over 50% or 10%, and positive, active, or slightly for children. And you can see the numbers change and on the front. And how did I change it? Participatory and imaginary games or music competition or Q&A or encouragement and a little surprise and gift. The next slide is my suggestion about how to be a good storyteller.
First, you may have a attractive topic. And positive and patient, and speak aloud, interact with audience, smile and eye contact. Last but not least, practice makes perfect. And this is today's my short talk. Thank you for your listening. Thank you. Next.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jill, and today I'd like to share how to be a good storyteller according to my experience. First, I will talk about how I feel about the storytelling in Heti Elementary School, and then I will mention how I select storybooks. And at last, I will share some tips for successful storytelling. And in Heti Elementary School, it was a mess, a terrible mess from first time we did the warm-up activities. I tried to be gentle and kind, angel-like teacher. And however, the students, the children were totally like little devils. Yeah, and during the activities, nobody paid attention to the speakers, and they kept talking and screaming frequently during the activities, and that makes me feel defeated and speechless. And so our group decided to divide the students into two groups and start to score points, and that really worked. That makes us can go on to our storytelling in the following weeks. And about the book selecting, according to my experience, I will base on the reader's skill levels, and I will look for information about the age that publisher had in mind, or I might searching for some new hot books or famous classic story. And for tips for successful storytelling, I think eye contact with the children and using gesture and facial expression and being enthusiastic are most essential factors. Having eye contact with the students, that makes them feel that you are serious talk to them. And they need to pay attention to you and look at you too. And using gestures and facial expression that can attract students' attention, and they can get to know what you tried and want to explain the sentence or the vocabularies. And at the last one, we have enthusiastic. By this way, the student can feel you have passion to tell the stories, and they can enjoy it by this way. And that's all for my speech today. Thank you for listening.
Next.
Hello everyone, my name is Jenny and this is my experience. When I know I will going to school to tell a story for children every Tuesday. I feel nervous and happy. Why I feel nervous? Because I am afraid I'm too late on Tuesday morning, and I am afraid I'm too shy to tell a story and I can attract children's attention. And why I feel happy is because I am very like children and I like to go along with them. And I want children to be happy in the process. And in the process, I learned a few things. First is when children out of control. When children out of control, we can say attention, and children need to say 1, 2, or we can use some projects like bells. And we ring the bell, children need to be quiet. And the story should be suitable for children's age. And the content, the vocabulary couldn't be difficult to children, and the content of the story shouldn't to be long. And we need to speak loudly and keep with confidence. If the student trust and respect the teacher authority, and they will accept and return the information better. Thank you.
Thank you.休息一下好了，因为剩下1分钟，我怕你等下就打钟了。
Hello everyone, my name is Cindy. Today I'm going to introduce my early storytelling experience. And this is my agenda. First is how I feel about the storytelling. And second is how to select a storybook. And the last one is tips for successful storytelling. My feeling about the storytelling. In the beginning, when I know I need to go to Pony to tell a story, I feel nervous because I'm afraid speaking in front of the people. But in the class, I feel happy because students will answer our questions. And after the class, I feel happy too because students were enthusiastic and they often smile to us. And how to select a storybook. The age and the content. You must need to know the level of the student and choose the suitable one for each of them. And the topic. You need to choose the interesting one that students cannot be boring. And the last one is the picture. You can find some books that have picture. I think students will very like it. Tips for successful storytelling. You need to prepare and practice before you telling a story. And when you tell the story, you can have some body language, emotions, and some different intonations that students can not be boring. And if your storybook is too small, you need to scan into PPT that everyone can see it. And thank you for your listening.
And next.
Hello everyone, I'm Jen. Today I want to talk about my storytelling in Hertie. About my agenda, experience, storybook, and tips. about my experience in the storytelling. At the beginning, I thought that it is an easy thing to tell people stories. So I think I can complete this task perfectly. But when I went to the classroom and standing in front of students, I'm so nervous because I need to speak English to everyone, English only. So I started to fear that I can't do it well. Yes. And I remember that once when I was telling a story on the stage, I heard that one student said it is so boring. And his words dealt me in a terrible blow. And my heart was broken. But when I finished the story, and I'm so comfortable because I realized some mistakes I need to improve. So I believe I can do it well next time. About how to select the storybook. Here are four important elements for you if you want to choose the storybook for children. First is repeat. It is good for you if the words or sentences are read over again and again. And so children will remember it. And second is easy. The words or sentences should be easy for children to read. And the third is lively. If the context of the storybook should be vivid, so that can catch children's attention. The last one is energetic. Energetic is children will interested if the storybook's pictures wonderful. Are filled with energy. Here are some tips for you to be a successful storyteller. The first important thing is you should prepare well before you going to tell a story. And the second is body language and intonation. And then they can help you to make your story lively. And the last one is interaction. Interaction can impress listener about the story. And through interaction and atmosphere, also make your story never get worse. Thank you.
Alright, so everyone